All right, welcome back to the channel. We are your Colorado real estate family, and it is no secret that one of the main reasons people move to Colorado is our active lifestyle.
Yep.
However, today we're going to talk about 4 cities that not only rank the top in Colorado, but also the U.S.
All right, let's go.
If you are new to our channel, Chelsea and Pete here, and if you're interested in what it's like to move to Colorado, Denver, or any of its surrounding cities, we're your people. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell because we put out a couple videos a week.
Yeah, guys, like to be as your boots on the ground experts, helping you out with all your information you need to know when moving out of state into Colorado. Also with that, licensed real estate agent here. I'm gonna throw the phone number in right below right here. That way you can reach out to us if you're moving into Colorado and need help with that real estate. All right, cool, let's go and dive in. We're gonna talk about 4 cities, you said?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about 4, but we're also gonna throw in some bonus just from local knowledge, so stick around to the end because we're gonna talk about a couple of our favorites.
Well, yeah, I think the thing is, like, you could always Google anything, right? And it's like, oh, the most active cities in Colorado or the United States, and they pop these things up, but I mean, we have some insight as locals that we see as super active cities too, so we're gonna go ahead and throw those in at the end of this video.
Yeah, so we are super proud because U.S. News and World Report, they just did a whole thing in 2020, 2021, and they kind of interviewed out of 150 cities, kind of the most active cities.
Yep.
Well, we had 4 cities that ranked in the top 17, which is huge.
Oh,
That's
huge.
huge.
Oh, yeah.
150 cities they looked at, and we ranked 4 in the top 17.
Yep.
Okay, so it's a no-brainer that Boulder is number 1.
Yeah, so Boulder, I mean, if you've ever been to Boulder or if you haven't been to Boulder, it is crazy active there. I mean, no matter what you're doing, if you're driving up to, not Lookout Mountain, but up above Boulder, people are always riding their bikes. They're always running. Yeah. Even if you go like camping a little bit outside of Boulder, people are running on the dirt roads. So it's like Boulder is crazy active. What number was it on the U.S. World Report? I
It's number 1. And I really liked, I'm going to read this to you because when I was looking at, I was like, can I trust all these? Because I looked at so many different things and you can pretty much find, there's a ton of different measurement tools of this.
Yep.
And one of the things I really liked about this report is it talked about quality of life and desirability. Yep. And that is because of its active lifestyle. So I'm going to read you for each of the cities that we talked to today, how they describe each city, because I think they did a really good job in capturing like, why is it desirable there? So Boulder's was young professionals, families, academics, scientists, transplants, and outdoor recreational enthusiasts.
Transplants.
Like, I know.
They really do transplants in there?
But it's true. Like a lot of people coming in from out of the state or even country, some of our clients out of the country, their desire is to be near Boulder.
That's true.
So
That's
it's actually very on point.
Yeah, and a lot of people also go up to Boulder to do high altitude training for any type of sports, Olympians, all kinds of different people are doing all this high altitude training. So Boulder's one of those spots that they like to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's so obvious that Boulder's number 1. I just couldn't believe it was number 1 out of all those
in the United States, yeah.
I know, I was like, well, duh, okay. All right, so the second one we're gonna talk about is Denver. And Denver actually ranked 14th, which is not I should have gone in order, but I'm just gonna go with what they were talking about. So Denver ranked 14th. Now, I have to say, it's a very different active lifestyle than Boulder because now you're looking at like rec centers, golf clubs, I can't remember like the tennis stuff, like all the different things they were saying about like that, why it's so active isn't necessarily related to the mountains like it is in Boulder.
Yeah, so Boulder, I mean, the big reason why it's so active is it's literally sitting right in the mountains. So you have all the hiking, you have all the biking, you have all the great things you do there. Denver is more street style, right? Where it's like you got that pavement that you see a lot of people running, just like I said, the golf, the parks, you're always seeing people play Frisbee. And so it has kind of those more, I guess you could call it urban style
like that
activities.
kind of city, you know, people are running through the city. Like when you go down there, you'll see people everywhere. I mean, go check out one of our Denver videos. We typically do our Denver videos down in Denver and like right there for you. And so go check them out because you'll see people like walking all around us, especially in the summertime. Like you can't go anywhere without there being a ton of people being outside in the sunshine.
Yeah, that's
okay, so here's how they described Denver. Ambitious, progressive-minded fitness fanatics and nature lovers, and also our snow bunnies. So I think one of the reasons they included the snow bunnies in with Denver is because it has like straight access into the mountains. Even if you're coming from, you know, northern Colorado, you still have to go down and kind of circle around through Denver. So I think a lot of people who want that quick access just to jump on the highway and head up to the mountains are typically coming from Denver.
Yeah,
so.
makes sense. Makes sense. You said it was number 14 on the list, right?
Number 14. Okay. So there was one outside of Boulder that ranked a little higher on the list, which is Colorado Springs.
Colorado Springs has been blowing up like crazy these last few years. It used to be just like it's the second largest city in Colorado, right? You have Denver and then Colorado Springs. But it used to always kind of be this like little mountain town getaway a little bit when I was a kid. And so it's just been blowing up like crazy. You have the Army bases down there, Fort Carson. So you have a ton of military down there as well too. With that's probably contributes to all the activities that they have in Colorado Springs.
Yeah, it's funny too. They were talking about, you know, the difference between active lifestyles and fitness and how they are different, but they typically will kind of trend together.
Yeah.
Okay, so when they're talking, Colorado Springs, so obviously Pikes Peak, which obviously brings a lot of people in that are active, and then we have the Olympic training centers.
Yeah. If you haven't been to Pikes Peak, I highly recommend taking the drive up there. It's just all the way up. It's beautiful as long as you're not scared of heights, because there's some cliffs that you get a little
weird.
There's some cliffs you get close to that's a little
sketchy. Really messes with your like depth perception. Because you're like up there and you're like, whoa.
That would suck to fall down that mountain.
Yeah, and like you would think there would be like guardrails right there, but there's not.
Yeah.
I mean, some of it there is.
There's some.
There's not.
But there's some. There's like, why the hell isn't there a guardrail?
Yeah, there should be
I'm guessing that like if you do fall, the road's right below you down there that's coming up. So maybe you'll land on that. I don't know. But
hold on, we have an intruder. Get out of here. Okay, if you're new to our channel, we have two little ones, and you know we do everything that we do for these little ones. So sometimes it gets a little wild up in here. You get little babies running around. What was the video that we did, Lafayette? Where we tried to record with the kids. We were early on in recording. We're like, yeah, we'll just do it with the kids. Yeah, that doesn't work.
Nope.
Okay, so we just learned we're just gonna cut it off and we'll jump back
There was one we did in Fort Collins where like our daughter kept chasing the squirrel. We're like, oh, just throw the kids in the playground. They'll be good. We'll record up here.
No.
And then, the squirrel, poor squirrel.
Any of you other YouTubers or people out there with young kiddos, comment down below. You know what it's like to try to work and have little babies. Okay, so where were we? Colorado Springs. Okay, Colorado Springs, I will be honest. In this like US News and World Report, there was not like a description for Colorado Springs. Which is funny, and I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's just because like Colorado Springs doesn't really buy into all the trendy stuff. Like, don't you think it's just kind of pretty organic?
Yes, I'd say though. It's getting there. Like, we have family that lives down there, and
starting to get a little more.
It's definitely. Honestly, they're like, I don't know if I like this, because that's why I like Colorado Springs. It wasn't Denver.
Chill, yeah.
It wasn't Denver. You know, it didn't have the craziness and hecticness of Denver and Boulder, and so that's why I loved it. But it's starting to get a little bit more trendy and everything, and they have a cool downtown, and so
it's starting to blow up a little bit. But to be honest with you, it's always kind of been a very organically just active space that doesn't have like buy into all the trendiness, but so maybe that's why I didn't get it.
I think a big reason why it was so active, like I said, you have the military down there, and like I said, we mentioned the Army base, you have the Air Force Academy as well too. They're always active, super active, being in the military.
Could just be that.
So I think that probably definitely attributes to how active it is.
Agreed.
Yep.
Okay, so the fourth city that made the cut out of the 150 in the top 17 is Fort Collins. Which is a no-brainer.
Well, we talk about this all the time.
But it's 17th.
I thought it was going to be higher than that.
I did too.
Because they have some of the best biking trails in the United States. And so I thought it'd be a little bit higher. If you're ever in Fort Collins, I mean, they're always super active. This is up there as well, too. So
you have Horsetooth. Rocky Mountain National Park is about an hour away. You have tons of different trails.
Is walking in between breweries considered active?
I know, right?
Because they have a ton of breweries up there.
So
hey, you can speed walk, right?
This is what it says about it. Any craft brewery enthusiast, outdoor recreational activities, Rocky Mountain National Park, this is a place for you. So it really just capitalizes on all of that, which is funny that you brought up the breweries, because you would think that breweries and being active would not
I'm just saying, I mean, you're walking a lot, you know?
Yes,
and
there's
it's
tons of brewery
even
tours
if you are
here.
intoxicated, you're still exercising a little bit, right?
Oh my gosh, there's a ton of brewery tours in Colorado in general.
Yeah.
So if that's how you want to be active here, that you do that. Okay, now let's talk about
our bonuses.
Like the things that I think should have made the cut.
Yeah. Well, and it's more so because of what they are, right? We're going to be talking about our ski towns. So we're talking like Vail, Breckenridge, Winter Park. What's another one I hear that I'm missing? Aspen. And of course, I mean, people come here to ski and snowboard, right? So in the wintertime, they're going to be crazy active. In the summertime, for those resorts to kind of, keep busy and keep the money flowing, and they have a bunch of other stuff too. So like downhill mountain biking, they do, what else they do? I'm trying to think.
You name it.
Yeah, they do all kinds of stuff. They have all kinds of rafting trips and stuff like that in and out around these cities. So anytime you're in a ski town, it is super crazy active.
So active. Because everyone's out walking and doing all the things. And then also there's like events throughout year-round events like that you could check out on every single one of the mountain towns. They have like the big event calendar and all kinds of things. So definitely, I mean, I don't know if it's just because they're smaller, I would think. Maybe that's why it didn't
it's possible.
But really,
or just because, I mean, so many tourists go there, they didn't really consider like locals being that active. I don't know. I don't. Yeah.
But it should have got credit.
Should got a little bit. Our ski towns are crazy active. Anytime you go there, anytime
you go there.
What did I become Dutch all of a sudden or what? Anytime you go there, it's just crazy active every time you're there. And like I said, I mean, majority of it is your skiing and snowboarding.
Okay, now 2 cities that we also want to cover that we think should have gotten credit are Golden and Lakewood. And we talk about these like cities right outside, like kind of at the foothills of our mountains, and why they're so active and why it's so desirable because of the accessibility to the city and jobs and all of that. But Golden has, what's the creek? Clear Creek, which again brings a lot of people, whether they're swimming or they're kayaking or they're fishing, just going down on random tubes from Walmart or whatever it is. Like, well, it's a story another time, but whatever it is, it brings so many people. They run the trail that they have a paved sidewalk all the way down it that people are running and
and if you go there, I mentioned this in our Golden video, so if you haven't seen our Golden video that we just posted like a month ago, go check it out. But I mean, they have these paragliders that are, it seems like every time I go there, they're just crazy going in and out of. So it's like paragliding is an activity, and it's super awesome to see. I mean, like near our house, you could see the hot air balloons. Anytime you kind of see air activities, it just always intrigues me. I'm like,
I know.
Like squirrel.
And then Lakewood, like same thing. You know, you're kind of embedded, at least on the west side of Lakewood, in the hills.
Yeah, Green Mountain.
They have, Green Mountain and all of that. So those 2 cities are pretty active because they're just right before the foothills. I think they definitely should have scored on there because they're really cool cities, especially Golden. Like Golden has a special place in our heart, especially with the old town and all of that. And those cities definitely need credit. So Sweeney's are voting in Golden and Lakewood and our beautiful mountain towns. Instead of just, because I think a lot of people when they come here, they know Boulder, Fort Collins, Colorado Springs, and Denver, right? Like they know those things. It's exciting to see how they score in comparison to other cities, but we definitely thought that there was a couple cities we need to add in there as locals, knowing that, they didn't quite make the cut. So, all right. If there's other cities that you're interested in or you want to dive into any of these cities specifically, please let us know. We do these videos for you.
And of course, guys, if you're looking at moving into Colorado, Licensed Real Estate here, helping helping you out with all your real estate needs. I always say that so freaking fast.
We all do.
Licensed real estate agent here, helping you guys out. I love helping you, and we've been doing it quite a bit, and it's been amazing helping you out with all the insights. So until next time, we love you. Bye.
Bye.